Guys, I'm done. I'm selling everything. You heard it right. I feel everything is going to zero. Bitcoin is going to zero. S&P 500 is going to zero. Everything is going to crash. That is happening very soon. That is why I've sold every single thing. That's it. Guys, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. And the reason why I say all of these things is because maybe you would not have watched this video if I did not put up that thumbnail. But it is very important that you do, guys. It is very important, trust me. Because right now what we have is a very red market, and that is why I'm wearing red. To just adapt to the market, and that is the main thing. You have to adapt to the market. You have to see where the trend is. You have to see what is going on, and you have to create a plan and then end up following it as well. Because creating a plan is one thing and not following it, getting all judgmental, emotional because of short-term price action is another thing. So in this episode, guys, I am going to tell you why I am absolutely on a buying spree right now and what am I looking out for. So if that is the type of content you enjoy, guys, then make sure that you do not skip this video because it is going to be very, very important. Now let's get right into it.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
So guys, welcome back and thanks for joining me yet again. Right here, we have the chart of Bitcoin sitting around $96,900, which is very close already. And we have already touched my price point, which I have been mentioning for, I guess, the last 2 weeks. I've been talking about this level, $96,500. This is your higher time frame range point of control. All right, we have bounced off very nicely so far, but is it going to be a breakout towards the upside? Are we going to reverse back up, or are we just going to continue going down? Because that is exactly what is going on. We have been in a downtrend. We have to accept it. Now, when will this downtrend end? That is the question, and that is exactly what we are going to uncover in this episode. So first off, let's do a little bit of throwback to what I said a few days ago, which you can see right here. I gave 3 different scenarios, the Bitcoin macro scenarios, and I'll explain these again one more time because I feel that right now is the most important time for people to be creating these kind of videos instead of just talking about that they have sold everything and they have exited the market and then they keep on complaining about there is no liquidity in the market. Guys, if everybody is going to talk about liquidity getting dry, it is a perfect recipe for the big players to keep buying while everybody, the retail, is just going to sell the absolute bottom. All right. First off, guys, before I jump into the next part of this episode, I have to tell you guys, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. So please consider doing some research of your own and making your own decisions according to your own self. This is not financial advice. Do not consider anything that I say to be sure shot, and it is not going to be guaranteed. All right. Whatever I'm going to share is based on my personal opinion and my personal plan based on my own technical analysis, nothing else. All right. Now, with that disclaimer, let's get right into it. We have the first scenario that I gave you on 4th of November. That is 10 days ago. I told you that we are coming into this region. All right. This was the first scenario, expanding flat ABC. This is still a bull market. All right. Targets coming around $97,200 and $99,500. Later, we are looking for an impulsive structure towards the upside and continuation to new all-time highs. Now, if I show you the chart right around here, let's just go back on the 4-hour time frame. Then you can see right here, we have a finished structure and we have touched our levels. All right. The $97,000 zone that I did mention, right? Now, for that particular scenario, guys, what we have is an ABC. So we have A right here, we have a B towards the upside, and then this is your wave C. What are your price targets for an expanding flat correction where wave B takes the high of your wave A and then wave C takes the low of your wave A? All right. So this is exactly what we have. Right now, what are the targets? Let's get right into it. We have a trend-based Fibonacci extension. This is based on technicals, guys. This is in the books of Elliott wave theory. I'm not saying or making anything up. I'm just giving you the information. You can act accordingly. You can do whatever you want to do. All right. So from the high of your wave A to the low of your wave A, trend-based Fibonacci extension to the high of your wave B. All right. Your first target for your wave C is the 1.618 extension in this particular case, which is coming around $99,261, which we did actually touch right here on 5th of November itself. But this was not going to be the bottom of wave C because of a very obvious reason, and that is wave C has to be a 5-wave structure, right? If you try to count it, right here from this high to this low that we made on 5th of November, then you cannot count this structure to be a 5 waver. But right now you can easily count it as a 5 waver. We have wave 1 right here, wave 2 towards the upside, wave 3 towards the downside, wave 4 towards the upside, and then final wave 5 towards the downside to finish your wave C. All right, this is a contracting diagonal, as you can see. So each of these waves, even the motive waves as well as the corrective waves, all of them are 3 wave structures. This is perfectly common. Also, wave 4 should have an overlap between wave 1, which is also the case right around here. This is your wave 1 low and this is your wave 4 high, which has a clear overlap. Perfect, picture perfect, I would say, in terms of Iliad wave theory, right? Now, the other price target that you have for your wave C in an expanding flat scenario is a simple Fibonacci extension from the high of your wave B to the low of your wave A right around here. And the second target is the 1.618 extension. So your target box was right here between these two levels, all right? And now we have touched both of these targets. Now, what is going to happen next? I don't know, but we have done the price targets. That is something that we have. Now, if that is the case, we can say that A, B, C, a correction is complete. Now we should be looking for an impulsive structure towards the upside. In the other scenario, guys, what we have is basically right here. The second scenario where you have an ABC correction, which starts from the $125,000 highs, which is right around here. Now let's just quickly talk about that as well. So in that scenario, we have A right here, B right here, C right here. Again, do we have a finished structure? First off, we have wave A towards the downside. We have a wave B towards the upside. In wave C, again, we are looking for a 5-wave structure, as I did mention. So we are looking for wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, another diagonal, right? I would give this a little lower probability because of this move towards the downside being an expanding diagonal, which is very rare, but still it happens. So it might be already there. But the problem here is we have not done our price targets for our wave C if the correction starts from this high. All right. And if this is a regular ABC zigzag, right? Now, if I go back right here, you can see the price targets. They are coming between $91,000 and $95,471, right? How do you find these targets? So from the high of your wave A here to the low of your wave A to the high of your wave B, you're going to plot again a trend-based Fibonacci extension that brings you the price targets of 1.236 Fibonacci and 1 Fibonacci extension. This is your target box, which we have not yet touched. So there is a possibility of this correction to still continue, right? Now, that was something that I wanted to let you know about. I would personally stay with the first scenario that I shared right here, where we basically have an expanding flat correction. This suits much more in my opinion. I don't think price should go lower, but again, guys, I'm not a financial advisor and I don't know if things actually happen the other way. This was your bearish case scenario or an impulse towards the downside. Now, right now, we have invalidated this particular scenario, the third macro scenario that I gave you earlier on. So if you're counting this as wave 1, then I don't think this is going to be a wave 3 because of several overlaps in this particular move towards the downside. This looks more likely as an ending diagonal, or you can say this looks more likely as a leading diagonal, all right? And of course not some sort of a wave 3 towards the downside. So that would mean that we're not looking for a move like this for a wave 4 and then continuation towards the downside for your bear market, but rather the worst case scenario from here onwards is basically this entire structure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a contracting diagonal, but this time this is not an ending diagonal for ABC, but rather this is your wave 1 towards the downside, which is going to look something like this. This is wave 1, we look for wave 2, then 3, 4, and 5, which will take you into bear market territory, which in my opinion is going to be between $40,000 and $70,000. Again, in that particular scenario, guys, if we are looking for something like this, we are looking for a bigger bounce in wave 2, potentially coming into this region between $116,000 and $120,000, because there is a very nice fair value gap, imbalance, you can call it whatever you feel like, but this is where a lot of orders by the market maker are stuck. So I would expect even in a bearish case scenario to see a bounce like this. And if we fail in this region, we are looking for lower prices indeed. But if we are able to go past this resistance, then guys, we are looking for new all-time highs for Bitcoin, and further continuation is quite the possibility here. All right. The second point that I want to give you in this particular episode is about Ethereum. In my opinion, guys, Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin very nicely so far, and I have been very vocal about this fact in the last few days inside Karoshi's private as well. So I will share that information with you. But again, as you can see, we have not taken the low of 4th of November for Ethereum, while for Bitcoin, we have done so. If I also show you the ETH-BTC chart, then it is also looking much better right here. All right, we are seeing a very nice bounce. And in my opinion, guys, if I go on to the weekly time frame, let's just say, so you can very clearly see, guys, that we are in some sort of an impulsive structure towards the upside. You have to analyze one very important thing on the chart. All right. Right now, if you see on the higher time frame, the trend seems to be towards the upside for Ethereum against Bitcoin. All right. And you can very clearly see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially looking for the final wave at least for our wave 5, where Ethereum is likely going to outperform Bitcoin by 61.89%. This is the minimum price target. I think it can go higher as well. That would depend on market conditions. Now, I don't think that Bitcoin can go lower and Ethereum can stay at the same price or basically outperform in the opposite direction, because then it would mean that, Bitcoin is just going towards the downside while Ethereum is going towards the upside. That is the only way it can happen in a bear market, that Ethereum actually goes up on this particular chart where Ethereum is measured against Bitcoin. So this is your hopium chart in my opinion. Again, I do feel that price is going to go up here, and that will happen when Bitcoin also bounces off. Now, this can also happen while Bitcoin just goes from the current price of $96,000, $97,000 to $120,000, which is going to be a dead cat bounce. All right, that can still happen. And during that time, we could see this move towards the upside. So it is still a possibility, and in my opinion, a high possibility according to the technicals that I've seen so far, that Ethereum is going to outperform the larger caps, in my opinion, like Bitcoin and Solana. So that is exactly what I shared inside Karoshi's private a few days ago, that I was selling my Solana at $166, right around here. This is where, I shared all of this information as well inside Karoshi's private with all of these updates every single day. So even today, I shared an exclusive update inside Karoshi's private. So if you want to join Karoshi's private and if you want daily updates about the market, Bitcoin short trades, Bitcoin long trades, altcoin long setups, and meme coins and everything that you need basically, then guys, make sure that you join Karoshi's private. The link is given in the description section below. It is going to be closed very soon. So you will be basically required to join a waiting list very soon. Right now, you can still get instant access. So make sure that you get yourself in as soon as possible if you're interested or looking forward to joining it. All right. Link given in the description section below. So basically what I told everybody inside Karoshi's private, that I'm selling my Solana at $166 right around here. Then price went lower right now. And I also mentioned at that time itself that the USDC, the stables that I get from selling Solana here, I am going to be buying back Ethereum with this money. And that is exactly what I have done today. All right, I've bought Ethereum at around $3,160. And as I said, according to me, for the recovery bounce or the next leg up, no matter what happens, Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin and Solana. That is just my thesis. And I also feel this will be very bullish for virtual ecosystem as well as the plays that are there on the base ecosystem or the base network as well. All right. So you can do whatever you want to do with that information as well. Now, with that being said, guys, I have to tell you one very important thing, guys, that I have not sold anything. In fact, I have just bought more, and a lot of assets are showing relative strength in the market right now. I can talk about the altcoins, but I have already shared a complete video right here 2 days ago about all of the strong altcoins that I do feel might see a nice bounce towards the upside very soon. So make sure that you watch this video, guys. It is going to be very helpful for you right now. If you want exact levels where I am bidding right now, I've already shared it today itself in the exclusive video update that I do almost every day for Karoshi's private members. So make sure that you join and get access to all of those exact levels where I am bidding the strong altcoins that I do like. All right. Apart from that, guys, you have to identify relative strength in the market at this stage. First off, you have two choices at the moment. First thing that you need to be very mindful of is the fact that if you are selling anything today, it is technically the worst time to do so. If you don't have stable coins, guys, it is advised that you just sit on your hands. All right. If you have stable coins and if you want to deploy more, then guys, you can do so. Again, not financial advice, but that is personally what I have done. And I've invested more into Ethereum. All right. I'm not buying too many of, the higher risk plays at the moment, because I do feel that there is a slight chance that we would want to see the confirmation on the chart of Bitcoin. And where is this confirmation coming from? So basically, guys, if I go onto the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin, I would want Bitcoin to be trading above this level right here at $99,776. Why do I say that? This is the value area low of this entire range that we were trading in since the last 10 days. If we are able to reclaim this region as support, guys, it is going to be a sure shot trade, in my opinion, just based on the technicals. Again, not financial advice, so do not take this long setup just because I said so. But if you want to take it, guys, you can take it because I am already in. All right. Now, from here, you are looking for a price target of $110,000. This is the minimum that I feel we are going to bounce off from these levels if we are going to see this kind of a confirmation. All right. So if this confirmation happens, I will be moving down the risk curve using my Ethereum, probably on base ecosystem, and also bidding more on Solana meme coins that I do like. Even right now, I am holding everything that I have from my Solana meme coin portfolio. If I have to tell you, then we do have a few strong assets. As you can see right around here, we have XBT. Now you must have bought here. All right. I do agree. A few days ago, we did come back into this region. That is like almost 24 days of consistent downside, guys. It was wiped out with just 1 day of green price action on XBT. This is what happens when the market conditions will get even better. Right now, they're not so good, right? So you bid the bottom right here, buy low and sell high. That is what you should do, in my opinion. If you bought here, guys, again, you would have thought in this region that, I just want another chance to buy it below $1 million market cap. Right now, you have your chance. What you need to do is something that you must know yourself. All right. Moving on to the next play that I want to mention today is definitely going to be Nunu, which has shown significant strength in this market condition. Most of the altcoins, or meme coins rather, have gone absolutely to zero. But this one has bounced off very nicely despite the price action on Bitcoin. 133% gain in the last 10 days. All right. This was the low on 4th of November when Bitcoin made its low at around $99,000. And right now we are 133% up. I feel Nunu is going to be doing pretty well, and we have a clear reversal right here itself. We have a very nice rounded formation. This is your cup. Potentially we have a formation of your handle here, and then we look for higher prices. Your next target is coming at the 886 Fibonacci level. This is short-term price target, but this is very close to $1 million in my opinion. The team has a massive announcement as well, which was actually expected to be released today, but because of the current market conditions, I think they might delay a day or two, but it is going to come as soon as possible, in my opinion. Apart from that, guys, where do you see relative strength when it comes to meme coins? We have RUG absolutely sitting at this resistance zone right now. Once you break out from this region, you're looking at new all-time highs for RUG as well, in my opinion. $320,000 market cap. This one was shared at $72,000 on X for absolutely free, and at $51,000 inside 盛yshi's private. So if you're interested to get these calls, then guys, 盛yshi's private is the place to be. I cannot stress this further. All right. Nothing I've shared in this episode is going to be financial advice, and I don't want to be sharing too many of these plays today because it is a time where a lot of people are going to panic. A lot of people are going to complain. A lot of people are going to not see it through because they are new, or maybe they don't have the mindset to be in this market. Guys, you chose this market for yourself. So now when it gives you volatility, embrace it and focus on your plan. If you don't have a plan, try to make one. My plan was to buy things when Bitcoin hits $96,500. It happened today, and I am executing my plan. Will I fail or will I succeed? That is a question for another day. I will see you in the next one, guys. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure that you drop a like and also smash that subscribe button and ring the bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever I put up another update. That's all, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep hustling.
Never slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.